Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your October 2021 love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a bridging the gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left is your energy and the cards on the right is their energy. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have tradition. So this is actually the equivalent of the Hierophant in traditional tarot. So it could just be saying that for some of you, this might have been someone that you were in a formal, committed relationship with in the past. For others of you, it could just be saying that at the very least you had the desire to go there, but maybe it was a bit forbidden for whatever reason, because if we look at the names on the card, we have Romeo and Juliet. So it could just be saying it was forbidden in some way. In fact, I'm picking up for some of you, this might have actually been where you guys were in a committed relationship, and this person might have come along in the past, so that might have been what made it forbidden. So I know there's a few different angles there, but hopefully that resonated with you. Alright, the past energy on their side, we have the Five of Wands, which is Leo energy, and the Queen of Wands, which is Aries energy. So, again, with the artwork here, we do see a third person involved. So, yeah, for some of you, this could definitely be saying that in the past you might have been in another commitment with someone else, and this person might have actually still made an advance toward you. So I do feel like they would have been aware that you were in a connection, but I feel like they still might have come toward you with an offer anyway. For a smaller percentage of you, it could just be saying that you were in a committed relationship with this person and they might have stepped out in the relationship, but I do feel like that's a lot less likely. Given what I'm seeing, I feel like this is more of a situation where you were in another connection. This person knew that, but still made an advance toward you. Alright, present position on your side, we have the Four of Arrows, which is Libra energy, and the Five of Cups, which is Scorpio energy. So, seeing this come up here, this is actually the exact degrees, well, it represents the last 10 degrees of Libra, and that's actually the same degrees that the Mercury retrograde is starting in the sign of Libra. So it could just be saying that you're healing from this situation now, however exactly it went about in the past, and looking at some disappointment around it. So again, it stands out. We see the three lights there, and then also the three spilled cups. So yeah, for some of you, it's rare that I get this dynamic in these readings, but for some of you, there definitely could have been a third-party situation in this. So like I said, it could have been one of those things where you might have been in another connection. This person might have come along and you might have had something with them. I still feel like it's a lot less likely that this was a situation where you were with them and they stepped out with someone else, but that's certainly a possibility too, given that we do see the energy there. And I do want to say, if that is the situation, don't freak out if you're not aware of that being the case, because given the energies here, I feel like looking at this, the healing energy behind that, to me that shows that you would have already known for sure if that was the case, if they did step out, if this was the person with you back then. So I just wanted to mention that, so I don't want anyone to freak out and think that the person they're currently with might have stepped out on them. I feel like this would have been something you already found out about. But yeah, let me see what else comes to mind with this. And even it could just be one of those things where maybe it was a missed opportunity that you're looking back on with some regret, right? Where, like I said, for example, given that we saw the Romeo and Juliet name on this card, could just be saying that, for example, could be as simple as maybe you knew that your family wouldn't approve of the person, right? So you said, okay, maybe you entered into a connection with someone else because of that reason, but then you still keep thinking about this person all the time. You know what I mean? Just a super generic example of how it could be playing out. That's what I see there. Alright, present energy on their side, we have the Nine of Swords. So this is Gemini energy here, and usually this represents a lot of anxiety, losing a lot of sleep, This person could just feel like they might just have bad luck when it comes to relationships too, so that could be part of the dynamic in play. But yeah, it's interesting to see that it looks like you're healing on the one hand, but still looking back with some regrets, and then this person seems to just have a lot of anxiety around the situation. So definitely looks like there was something going on there in the past where there was some third party of some kind, and now it looks like there's a lot of anxiety around it, a lot of confusion, but some healing as well. All right, future energy, we have desire. So this is actually the equivalent of the chariot in traditional tarot, which is Cancer energy. So for some of you, it looks like you will be getting back together with this person. So regardless of what the dynamic is, like I said, if you were in another connection and they came around, could just be representing maybe you'll get out of that previous connection and actually connect with this person. And even for the smaller percentage viewer, like I said, if this person would have stepped out, it looks like you might actually be open to reconciling with them in the future. For some of you, there could have been physical distance between the two of you as well. If that's the case, it looks like that would be coming to an end. All right. And future energy on their side, we have the Ten of Cups. So Pisces energy here. Pretty positive energy there as well. If we think about it in traditional tarot, there's like the rainbow, looks like a happy family. So definitely looks like this is a positive turn of events for you guys in general. So yeah, like I said, whatever the dynamic was that we mentioned in the past, it looks like in the future there's definitely opportunity for the two of you to get things back on track in a much more positive way. The only thing I will say is with the artwork here, it always stands out to me. It looks like she's extending. Let me see if we get it to focus. There we go. Looks like she's extending that fruit to the male character, but it looks like he's almost not paying attention. It looks like there's a bit of distance, so it could just be one of those things where you or the other person might wait a long time to actually make the offer, but I do still feel like it will go over well. All right. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Nine of Staves. So this is actually Sagittarius energy here. Usually represents feeling pretty guarded. So yeah, for some of you, this could be someone that might have been in your friend circle, for example, because Sagittarius energy for you is your 11th house of friendships, groups you deal with. So could have been one of those things where you were in another connection, this person was just a friend, and then for whatever reason, maybe there were some feelings that sparked between the two of you, and you might have been really guarded toward that in the past because you were, otherwise engaged in another connection. But for the majority, it looks like that might be ending, and then you're getting with this person. And then, like I said, for a small percentage of you where they actually were with you, but they stepped out, looks like there's going to be some potential feeling around that too in the future. All right, and bottom of the deck on their side, we have the King of Chalices. So this is Scorpio energy here. So it could just be as simple as pointing to Scorpio season, but given that we saw the Scorpio energy there too, could just be saying that some of you might be dealing with a Scorpio. But yeah, this is someone who could be a bit guarded with their feelings too. Their feelings usually run deep, but they might not be quick to express those feelings. Eventually, once they do open up, they're usually pretty good about staying that way. But yeah, getting to that point could take a while with this type of personality. And beneath that, interestingly enough, I see the Knight of Pentacles too, which also gives me a similar vibe to what we see with the Ten of Cups, where, like I said, it looks like she's extending that fruit, and the male character doesn't even seem to notice it necessarily. But here we definitely see that there's a bigger connection there, as far as she could clearly see that it's being offered. So even if there is a missed opportunity, it looks like you guys will eventually get back on track if you're so inclined. All right, so moving on to the Oracle cards. First, we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck, and we're just looking for jumpers here, as far as unspoken messages from you to them and from them to you. Normally I just take jumpers actually, but this month I've been just pulling cards if nothing comes up, so we'll see what we get. Alright, so like I said, first we're looking for messages from you to them. Alright, got one there. And next we'll see if we get any from them to you. Alright, nothing's coming up. What I'll do is we'll put the deck down for a second. Give me a second to tap in, and then we'll actually just pull a card. Alright. We'll go with this one there. Get this out of the way. Okay, so on your side, we have letter. I will be writing you a message. I don't necessarily see something that clearly points to you opening up with communication, but with the desire card, it definitely, like I said, looks like there will be a reconnection in the future. So that part doesn't surprise me too much. And then on their side, we have magnet. There we go. It says, I keep being drawn back to you and I can't quite explain why. So yeah, between that and what I was saying with the Romeo and Juliet, this looks like you just definitely, this makes me feel like it's even more likely that you guys were in another connection in the past and this person just kept being drawn to you. There might have been a very heavy attraction. And like I said, I don't know exactly what's going on there, but it does look like, given what I'm seeing in this energy as a whole, looks like whatever that past connection is, you guys may have already left it or will be at some point, and it seems more likely you will actually be moving toward this person. But yeah, at the very least, even if this is like an unrequited thing where you've just been, moving away from this person, it looks like obviously we could see the attraction's pretty heavy on their side. Alright, so lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I did shuffle this as well, but we're just looking for one card here, and then we'll wrap up. Alright, so nothing's coming up here either, so same thing, I'll just put the deck down, give me a few seconds to tune in, and then we'll pull a card. Alright. We have Y. There's the artwork, and the number is 31. So let's see. Okay, it says motives, driving intention, the power of knowing the why. The Oracle's message. There is great power in understanding your motives right now. The Oracle asks you to be very clear about why you're asking this question, looking for this answer, behaving in this way, and most important, making this choice. Knowing your why is the key to fulfillment. When you are clear about it, your intention will then be a magnet for miracles. Motives define the nature of your experience. When you think about something, feel it, and then act on it. This invisible why is the life force energy within the seed, which brings it to life and holds the potential for growth. So definitely an interesting message there. That could represent the energy you guys might be in now with that 4 of swords or 4 of arrows in this deck, but 4 of swords and 5 of cups energy, where you could just be looking back and maybe healing from the situation, looking back with some regret. So hopefully that resonated with you. The relationship message says, we don't always know why we engage in our relationships in the way we do, mostly because our feelings aren't always logical. Now is the time to recognize whether you are being triggered by someone else or if your behavior is motivated by unresolved issues in the past. When you ask yourself, why am I feeling like this and why did I say that, and spend some time in introspection, the answers may be surprising. Listen to the messages from your intuition, from the knowing deep within you. What does it tell you about yourself and others? In the end, life is all about being loved. Miracles and a deep understanding of your needs and how to get them met are the very treasure of the why. Uncover them by posing the most powerful question you can ask yourself and your partner today. Why? So interesting message there, and just reading the why part of that makes me think back to what we got on their side of the oracle card, where it said, I keep being drawn back to you and I can't quite explain why. So that could be the reflection that they might be doing. That could even be what that Nine of Swords energy is about, where they're, looking back and reflecting like, okay, why do I keep getting pulled toward this person, especially if they did see you were in another relationship, but yet they still couldn't resist coming toward you, you know. And obviously, I guess it looks like you're in a bit of a reflective mood yourself in the present. But hopefully that resonated with you guys. We'll wrap up there and we'll see you all next month. All right, bye.